Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and this will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, June 25th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. I am a technical trader. So if you're somebody that uses technical charts in your decision-making process, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts, how they can be used to put, trade plans together, then this will be a good video for you. So let's go over the top 10 as we head into Friday. First one here, ticker symbol AMC, and been tracking this one very routinely. Now, the one thing that really drew my attention in today was the fact that volume has dropped off significantly. Now, I'm not saying that in a bearish sense or anything, but one of those situations where, where has all the volume gone? It's hard to believe that people have lost interest in it. But the good news is, even with the low, pullback in volume, it's not like the price is, pulled back with the price and crashed down. So it's holding itself, it's maintaining itself. So again, I don't say that in a bearish sense because, like I said, the price hasn't done anything wrong. And not only is it still up above the overall pattern down there at 51.50, but it's still nicely up above that pink line right there, which on my chart denotes the very famous, very well-known 200 period moving average, currently valued at, we'll just call it $55. So truly the price has done nothing wrong. It hasn't been, blasting down through support levels or anything like that. Now, of course, it hasn't done anything necessarily bullish recently either, in the sense of breaking up through that trend line, which I've talked time and time again about in past videos. So overall, the overall, let me do this, and I know I've drawn this the past couple of videos, but I'll just keep doing it just for those people that maybe this is the first video they're watching. But as far as the overall pattern is concerned, put the golf hole down there. A bull pennant pattern still remains in full effect, but let's see how it goes on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA. Tesla, absolutely monster move. Traded this one today on it. It did well, and I'll definitely be watching it on Friday here. So what are the levels that, I'll be watching along with, I'm sure, many others? Well, the first key level, actually, let's change this, get this out of this format here. I always forget to change that over there. And good thing tomorrow's Friday. I am on the struggle. There we go. So first key level to keep an eye on, going to be right here at that 675 mark. So 675 going to be a key level of support. If that level does not hold up, next key level is just going to be the lows from today, which are right around the 668 mark. And then, and I don't know, I'd be surprised if this level actually came into play, but I suppose you never know. But you do have that gap close location down there at 657. Now, do gaps have to close? No, nothing has to happen. Think about that. If something has to happen, that implies that there's guarantees, and there are no guarantees in the market. So those will definitely be the main levels of support. And then as far as areas of resistance, for people looking to potentially play a breakout, first key level going to be right there at the 690 mark, and then after that, the big old round number of 700. Now, I realize the price never hit 700, but, just from a psychology standpoint, 700 is going to be that main battleground, but there's no doubt about it. The upwards momentum has shown back up for Tesla, so let's see if it carries into Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol TRCH, and I hesitated. Should I even put this one on? But, it's definitely in a pattern, and it's got some well-defined areas that a whole lot of people are watching. So the first very well-defined area, going to be that trend line right there. I mean, you can just see all sorts of data points right around that area where you use, that level and that level. So those two very accurately predicted that area of resistance there. So if there is any sort of upwards movement, that's going to be that breakout point that every breakout player and their brother's uncle is going to be watching. And while nothing is guaranteed, certainly more than valid to think that if the price could get up to that level and break up through it, that might create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure because people are going to be buying just because, well, hey, I'm a breakout player. It's breaking out. I'm going to buy. Now, a very, very important level from the support side of things is all about, again, that pink line there, the 200 period moving average, and you can see that level is the price is sitting literally right at that level, or just from a pattern perspective. So let's go back to white. So let's just ignore, if I just were to use that as a part of the pattern and then that as a part of a pattern, we have this wedge formation that's coming. So again, no guarantees, but more than valid to think that if the price ultimately does break to the downside, that breaking could very well cause people to just wave the white flag, give out, and, cause that much more downward selling pressure. But the point here being is you have this very well-defined wedge pattern headed into Friday, so let's see which way it ultimately breaks. Next one here, ticker symbol MRIN, and I was not planning on doing this one just because it seemed like the party was basically over, and then all of a sudden the last 30 minutes showed up, which is what that candle represents, and that volume bar there represents. So in other words, last 30 minutes, volume came pouring in, and the price just exploded. So yeah, all of a sudden, and rightfully so, a bunch of people are talking about it again. So really the big question moving forward here is the price has broken. Let's try that again. There we go. The price has broken up through that high. So in trading jargon, a breakout has occurred. So there's no doubt about it. There's, that's not debatable right now. That level has broken. A breakout is underway. But now going into Friday, that's a big question. All right, is this breakout going to get more, follow through? Is it going to get more momentum? We'll have to just sit and see what happens. But the first key level of resistance to watch now going to be right up there at 380, and nothing fancy behind that other than the fact that that's just simply where this final 30 minutes finally, ran out of steam and eventually pulled back. So keep an eye on those couple of levels moving forward. Although I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose, just to show that it's broken out. Now, if the price does pull back a little bit, the key level of support is just going to be that former breakout point right there at the 305 mark. And then also, and I'm going to just throw this in there out of curiosity's sake, there does seem to be this trend line here that's now started to form too. So let me change that. I'll make that a different color green. So there we go. So keep an eye on that too, and we'll see how that plays out. But overall, those are going to be the main dynamics. But any way you look at it, monster final 30 minutes. Let's see if it carries into Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol WISH. And just like TRCH, was not having a lot of plans. And then this afternoon, you can see the volume came pouring in and the price reacted very nicely with it. And now all of a sudden, from what was looking like the price was, I can't say collapsing because that's too dramatic, but I mean, the price was definitely pulling back. Things were looking like, okay, well, not going to be a very successful day. And now all of a sudden the price is sitting literally right within striking distance of breaking through that level. Now in after hours right now, the price is actually up above that level of 1450. But the problem with that is we still have all of after hours today on Thursday. Then you all, have all of pre-market on Friday. So where this ultimately ends up and, opens, your guess is as good as mine. But the point here being is if it does open up above 1450, well, that just implies that this breakout has already happened. So 1450 going to be that main area of resistance. And then as far as support levels, if there is any sort of pullback, that former breakout point at 1375 will be the main area. But as of now, like I said, I don't want to say the only thing that matters, but I think that the dynamic that most people care about and are wondering about is, all right, can the breakout happen? And we'll see what happens with it on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol CLOV. And CLOV, kind of a case of deja vu in terms of what I talked about, because it once again applies today, meaning was today like explosive, awesome? No, for some people, they're in pain right now, right? If you're a day trader and you bought right there and you wanted to buy and sell within 5 minutes, well, then you're not feeling so good. However, if you do care about things from the big picture point of view, then once again, the price, and this is where I say deja vu from yesterday's video, price put in higher highs and higher lows. And from a trend building perspective, that is what it is all about. So assuming you care about the big picture of things, I understand days like this can feel bad because the price was up here on the open and then all of a sudden closed all the way down there. But when you look at it and compare it to the past previous days, well, it's still very clear that maybe not the most exciting day today, but the price just continues to put in those higher lows, and that is the name of the game. So keep that dynamic in mind. As far as levels of resistance, the main level here that still, stands out quite a bit, going to be right there at that 1450 mark. And then, 1450 can be broken. It's all about that $15 mark, which is essentially where the party and momentum stopped today. But overall, higher highs and higher lows. Next one here, we're going down into the world of penny stocks, WSRC, and an absolutely monster movement today. And now it's just a question of, can this continue on into Friday? So as far as support levels are concerned now, that level that, would make this chart look the healthiest and best going forward would be if the price can now stay up there above the 23-cent mark. Now, if the price drops below 23, doesn't mean the entire chart's destroyed or anything. But staying above 23 would certainly make it look the best. As far as the overarching standpoint, that's where the purple line comes into play, the 50-period moving average. Keyword being, so as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher. So in terms of just gauging the health of the overall movement, as long as the price is above that purple line, the chart from a big picture perspective is completely in full bullish control. But like I mentioned in other, tickers, there is perspective, right? Day traders, flippers, scalpers, whatever you want to call yourself, that bought there and wanted to buy and sell within 7 minutes. Well, from that angle, things are looking rough. But assuming you care about the grand scheme of it all, you still have a couple of nice areas of support. And as long as the price stays above those, that does imply that the overall trend is still plenty bullish. In terms of levels of resistance, nothing fancy here. The party finally stopped today right up there at 33.5 cents. So 33.5 will be public enemy number one headed in Friday. But overall, monster volume, monster price movement. Let's see if this momentum carries into Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol DBGI. And, an interesting one because this is just a play on, is it over or is it just a healthy pullback? Because no doubt about it, this one has proved that it can move very quickly and move in big ways. But you also got to acknowledge the fact of, this was from the highs right there to where it closed. That's a pretty big change. And it is. However, as of now, at least in my opinion, you still just got to call this a pullback. You can't call this a reversal or anything like that. And this is also why the level that I would definitely call a must-hold area is down there at 475. And I'm not saying this will occur, but for example's sake, if the price does come down to 475 and then breaks down through there, all of a sudden you basically have the price having gone right back to where it was, and price movements that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of true power, true strength. And at that point, that's where I would start to bring in the word reversal. But as far as I'm concerned, I would just still use the word pullback, and this thing has still got a chance. Because like I said, if it came down here and actually did not fall and then went up, at that point, you'd have some very nice stair steps. You'd have a set of lows there, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows down there. And like I said, if you envision those as stair steps, you still have, from an overall sense, a price, drifting in the upwards direction. If there is going to be any sort of turnaround, first main level of resistance going to be right up there at 665, and then next main level after that, right up there around the 750 mark. So yeah, as of now, things are looking a little shaky with the pullback. But like I said, I would just call it a pullback and not a reversal. Next one here, ticker symbol ATOS, and this one's been on the top 10 a few times over the past couple of weeks, and once again has come back to life. And let me squeeze this down to illustrate this better. From a trend building perspective, I mean, if you wanted to, needed an example because you were writing a book and you need an example in the trend chapter, I mean, you could throw this one right in there. I mean, talk about just beautiful higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher highs, higher highs. So you get the idea there. So from a trend building perspective, this is what it's all about. Now, again, there is perspective. Day traders that bought right there and wanted to buy and sell within 5 minutes. Yeah, it's rough because there was a bigger pullback here. However, from the overall standpoint, there's nothing wrong at all. It's simply pulling back. This is not the first time it's pulled back. There is a pullback. Everything was fine. There is a pullback. Everything was fine. So now that doesn't mean that everything's always going to be fine. No such thing as a guarantee. But the level of support to watch is going to just be that former breakout point, which sits down there around 750, which is basically right where the price found some support. And then from the overarching standpoint, as I've talked about, continue to watch that purple line there, 50 period moving average. In terms of levels of resistance, very straightforward. Price really struggled right up there around the $8.30 mark. I realized, yeah, the price did peek its head up above there once, but that didn't last very long. And then the price went right back to bumping its head right on that level. So keep an eye on that. But at the end of the day, as long as this thing continues to behave like it's been in terms of putting in those higher lows, then that is by far what matters most. And our final one here, ticker symbol OCGN, and very, very impressive move, especially when you think about it, that not that long ago, just a few days ago, the price was sitting down around here below 650, and now the thing has worked its way all the way up to where it has right now. So headed into Friday, looking very solid, nice trend. And as I've talked about, the easiest way to kind of see the quote-unquote nice trend, just continue to watch that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, you can picture that as a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So in other words, as long as the price is above an uptrending trend line, well, that implies that the price itself is in an uptrend. And assuming you care about the grand scheme of things, that is by far what matters most. Now, what would make the chart look the absolute best going forward? Certainly if the price can stay up above that $8 mark, but if it doesn't, like I said, for the reasons just discussed, not the end of the world, because you still do have plenty of opportunity, to stay above that purple line there. As far as levels of resistance, I'm going to go ahead and squeeze this down because the next main battleground, I don't think today is where the pricing is. Couldn't tell. Did the price get up there and hit it? But wasn't even close. But so $9 though is going to be that gap close location to the upside right there. But really, and probably got a little too far ahead of myself. Before I even put too much focus on the $9 mark, let's just see if the price can first break above today's highs, which are right around that $8.60 mark. So $8.60, $9, next couple of key areas of resistance moving forward. But anyway, look at it. Very impressive bounce from where it was just a few days ago. And we'll see if this bounce can just continue on into Friday and then the weekend. So those are the top 10 stocks as we head into Friday. If you enjoyed this video, want me to keep making videos in this format, easy way to communicate that to me, just hit that like button and leave a comment down below. And also, if you are interested in learning more about charts, how to use them, how I use them, the philosophy behind them, I am offering a live class tonight, Thursday, on what's today? The 24th. So if you're watching this and it's the 24th, then yeah, live class tonight. And I'll be talking about more about technical charts, how I use them, the philosophy, how they should be used, how they should not be used. And, so if you're interested in learning more or just kind of improving upon what you've already known about charts, get signed up for that class. Now, I do note it or realize that maybe this is last minute for you, but still sign up because it will be recorded, and then we'll email out the recording as soon as it's all done. So even if you can't make it, like I said, live this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, I understand because it is short notice. But like I said, just still get signed up, and then you can watch the recording after it gets emailed out. And I'm going to talk more about that class as soon as I wrap this up. So without further ado, if you're interested in the class and want to learn more about it, I'm going to cut to that right now. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.